Hello, good morning everyone. I welcome all of you to the lecture Decision Support System and Business Intelligence. Business Intelligence and Decision Support System. This presentation we have taken from 9th edition book Prentice Hall. We are in the chapter 8 Data Warehouse. Today we are going to look at data warehouse. Hope this presentation is visible to you. First, we will learn the objectives, understand the basic definition and concept of data warehouse, and then learn different type of data warehouse architectures, their comparative advantages and disadvantages. Then describe the process used in developing and managing data warehouses. Explain data warehousing operations. Explain the role of data warehouses in the decision support. Explain the data integration and the extraction transformation at load processes. Again, there is the objective to describe the real-time aka right-time and or active data warehouse. Understand the data warehouse administration and security issues. OpenWignity DirectDB thrives with active data warehouse. In this, the company background, problem description, propose solution, result and answer, and discuss the case questions. Main data warehousing topics: data warehouse definition, characteristic of data warehouse, data marts, ODS, EWD metadata, ODS operation data stored, EWD enterprise data warehouse, operational data stored, enterprise data warehouse, metadata, data warehouse framework, and then we'll learn the topic in main data warehouse architecture, then extraction transformation and load process, ETL extraction transformation and load process, extraction transformation, and load process. Then data warehouse development and data warehouse issues. First, data warehouse defined: a physical repository where relational data is are specially organized to provide enterprise-wide clean data in a standardized format. Means data warehouse. The data warehouse is a collection of integrated, subject-oriented database design to support decision support system functions, where each unit of the data is non-volatile and relevant to the some moment in time. Relevant to the some moment in a time. We've seen some examples in previous chapter of Amazon, Flipkart, data warehouse. There the product are stored. Physical data is stored in the data warehouse so that that can be exactly through the website we should be able to extract a physical repository where relational data are specially organized. Relational data, through the relational query we have to extract that data to provide enterprise wide cleans data in a standardized format. The data warehouse is a collection of integrated subject oriented database design to support decision support system functions. Collection of integrated data subject oriented database where each unit of the data is non volatile and relevant to some moment in a time. Data warehouse is a collection of integrated data subject oriented database to support to the decision support system. There are some characteristic of data warehouse. First one is the subject oriented specific application oriented data integration. Data warehouse is used to integrate the subject oriented data time variant within a time series. This data is retrieved as a sequence. This data is stored. Once you suppose entered your username password, you will be visible. The data is stored in the repository of the data warehouse sequentially, step by steps. Non volatile, summarize, non normal, not normalize. All data is in a natural format, is not in a non volatile, web based, relational, multidimensional, client server, as well as real time and or write time activation. These are the characteristic of data warehouse. Data mart is an example, a departmental data warehouse that stored only the relevant data. Department data mart, a subject that is created directly from a data warehouse. Independent data mart, a small data warehouse designed for a strategic business unit or a department. Department data mart, a subject that is created directly from a data warehouse, means a data department of a data mart. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Dependent data mart is a subject that is created directly from a data warehouse. Dependent data mart. Suppose we want to show our product in a showcase. It is possible in the shop. Similar kind of a showcase we have to design web-based showcase. In that showcase we have to store our data, our products. So to to keep our product in a exact a subset that is created directly from a data warehouse. This is the dependent data mart. Independent data mart, a small data warehouse designed for a strategic business unit or department. This is a small data warehouse, strategic independent data mart, and which is designed for strategic businesses unit or a department. These are the departmental data warehouse that stored only relevant data. Data warehouse definition: the operation data store, operational data stores, ODS, a type of database often used as a interim area for a data warehouse. This is the interim area for data warehouse. A type of data operational data store is a type of database often used as an interim area for a data warehouse. There we perform some operation on the database, some operations on product to show that product. This is an integrated type of a data. Now Opermart, another type of data warehouse is Opermart, an operational data mart enterprise, an operational data mart enterprise data warehouse EWD, a data warehouse for the enterprise. Enterprise data warehouse, a data warehouse for enterprise. Metadata, a data about data. In a data warehouse, metadata describe the content of a data warehouse and the manner of its acquisition and use. How we will acquire that data and show that data, that is in the metadata, means data about data. To this is the process to store our product and retrieve our product. For that there are some queries required, and that is the data about data to show a particular product. What is the behind data in to show this data, there, that is the metadata. You look at this conceptual framework for data warehouse: data source, ERP, enterprise resource planning, legacy, process, rules to show the to store this data, to acquire this data. Then POP and other OLAP, OLTP, web servers, external data. Uh, Extraction, transformation, load, process. Select, extract, transform, integrated, load. Then metadata, enterprise data resource, and replication of this. No data mart options. Then application visualization. If the access is available, then data mart marketing, data mart engineering, data mart finance, data mart other processes. API, middleware, and after that there is the no data mart options. Then application visualization, routine business report, data text mining, OLAP, dashboard, web, custom built applications. Generic data warehouse architectures. There are three tier architectures: data acquisition software backend, data warehouse that contain the data softwares, client front-end software that allow users to access and analyze data from the data warehouse. Two-tier architecture. The first two tier is three tiers architecture is combined into one architecture. Sometimes there is only one tier architecture. In three tier architecture, first data acquisition software backend. Data acquisition software is there in the data warehouse. then data warehouse that contain the data softwares, and then client front end software that allows users to access and analysis data from the data warehouse, which is the data is stored in the data warehouse that can be accessed by the front end by the client with the help of a data warehouse that contain the data software with the help of some softwares. Their softwares is required to access the data from the data warehouse where the data is stored at the backend at the data warehouse. And in two-tier architecture, first two-tier is the three-tier architecture is combined into one, and sometimes there is only one architectures. Three-tier architecture, database server tier 3, their data is stored, and application server to access from this server data there we require some application servers, and application server will provide data to the client according to their search, according to their uh, query. User will access the data by providing the query to the application server, and then application server will get the data from the database server. If the data is stored systematically on this server, then this data will be accessible to the client station, to the first tier means user of the data. And two tier architecture, you see a client workstation and application and database server is the one tier we have made there. And uh, a architecture directly can be accessed, and the application database server and the database server is similar, and their data is stored, and according to the query of the client this can be accessible. This means the general architecture of the data warehouse. Data warehouse architecture considerations, issues that consider when deciding which architecture to use, which database management system should be used. This is very consideration, which this is very important thing to consider when designing the client servers softwares, web-based softwares to show the products, to do the marketing of our product accurately. We can able to show the product if we follow the proper architecture of the data warehouse. Which database management system should be used, this is also important. Will parallel processing and or partitioning be used, or will data migration tool be used to load the data warehouse? What tools will be used to support data retrieval and analysis? These points are very important. Now, which tools we have to use to do the analysis, to retrieve the analysis from the stored data? Which data we first acquire from the server? Will data migrations tool be used to load the data warehouse data from the server to the client? There some migrations tool we have to use, as well as their parallel processing or participating tools should be considered to acquire the data from the servers. These are the uh, architecture, web-based data warehouse architectures. You can look at the client browser. Through the browser, internet is required for connect to the web server or intranet or extranet. One of the connectivity is required from these three to connect this client to the web server. Then web pages we have to crawl, and after crawling the web pages we will get the necessary information which required to this actor, to this client. Um, for that, their application servers are connected to the web server and also data warehouse. From data warehouse, the product, the list as it is, we will get as it's stored. It will its look will be like physical data, physical product. Similar kind will be look as you looking in the Amazon. You see Amazon.in. You see these products are in the dashboard. Why these products are looking like this? Because these are the stored in proper data warehouse. From data warehouse, this we are looking on this dashboard. Alternative data warehouse architecture, independent data mart architecture. Their source of data and uh, staging area, extraction transformation load, ETL, extraction transformation load. Then independent data mart, atomic summarize data, end user access, and applications. From source of data, so there to require some transformation strategies. After using this extraction transformation load, independent data mart, automatic summarize data will access by the end user to their application. By using their application, if he is using website, to this website, there we have to connect our source system, and through the source system, this ETL will extract the necessary information according to the client's requirement. The data bus architecture with linked dimensional data mart, the source system, staging area, and dimensionalized data mart linked by the confirmed dimensions, atomic summarized data. The end user access this data also by the link of dimensional data. And hub and spoke architecture, this is the corporate information factory. The source system you will access by the extraction transformation load, staging area, and normalize relational warehouse, atomic data. Dependent data might summarize some atomic data, or end user access and application data through the normalized dependent data or normalized relational data warehouse. There are two steps in this uh, hub and spoke architecture. Centralized data warehouse architecture, federated architecture. There are again two architectures: centralized data warehouse architecture, the source data staging area, normalized relational warehouse, atomic summarized data, end user access applications. All these are the data warehouse architectures. Now, which architecture is the best? There are various architecture we see. From these, which is the best? According to the Bill Enom versus Ralph Campbell, enterprise data warehouse versus data mart approach. Independent data mart, information quality is 4.42 and bus architecture 5.16. The system quality is 4.0 59, and in a centralized architecture number of independent data mart 5.23, hub and spoke architecture 5.35, bus architecture 5.16, and federation architecture 4.73. If we see the quality, information quality, we will get the good quality of information in the hub and spoke architecture. Hub and spoke architecture we provide the good quality of information. This hub and spoke architecture. Why? The end user access and application from the dependent data mart, which is the summarize some atomic data, as well as it can be accessed from normalized relational data warehouse. But in the data mart architecture with link dimensional, there the dimensional data mart linked by the confirm dimension. Independent data mart. In independent data mart, there huge number of searches required to search the appropriate information to this end user and access their applications. So the quality of information is more accurate because here the two options are there to access the data. System quality, which is the good system. System quality also uh, good of the hub and spoke architecture, as well as individual business impact. On what the good individual impact is a centralized architecture. There is no dependent data mart required, but then this is the great. You look at here the 5.80 bus architecture gives us the individual good impact, and organizational impact is good in the bus architecture. So we have to use this bus architecture if our organization is using the data warehouse. This is empirical study by Area Chandra and Westson in 2006. In 2006, this analysis is performed. This literature is studied, and we provided this information ready to our use. All these federation architecture, centralized data warehouse architecture, a data mart bus architecture, there the dimensionalized data mart is used, and this is a centralized architecture. So in organization we have to use this. Now data warehouse architecture, 10 factors that potentially affect the architecture selection decision. Which architecture we have to select? On this basis of this 10 point, we have to select this architecture. First, information interdependence between the organizational unit. Information interdependence between the organizational unit. If there is information interdependent, then this point is to be considered when we have to select the proper architecture. Upper management's information need. Is there manager required information which is we are processing as a developer or as a suppose executive? Then urgency of need for data warehouse. Is there urgency to get proper products information in the software? Then there is urgency. Then depends upon our urgency, we have to select a proper data warehouse software architectures. Nature of end user task. Which type of end users are there? Medical end users are there, business end users are there to use our software, or farmers. According to the applications, the nature of end users, we have to select the architecture. Constant on sources. which type of barriers are there, which type of products required to show, or is there need to show whole product to the client, or just overview of product if we shown, is that ready to get whole information about the product. These are the selection point. Constant on the source, strategy view of the data warehouse prior to the implementations. Then capability with existing system, compatibility with existing system, how the existing system is different from our novel technology. Is this novel technology will provide data faster than existing system, accurate than existing system. According to that, we have to select the data warehouse architecture. Perceived ability of the in-house IT staff, technical issues, and the social political factors we have to consider during the selection of architecture of the data warehouse. Now you look at the enterprise data warehouse by Teradata and corporations. Transactional users, there are transactional users, transactional data. According to the transactional user, data transformation, then this data will transform into the operational data stored. An enterprise data warehouse, data replication, data mart, these are the various kind of data warehouse. Then decision users, strategic user, tactical users, reporting OLAP user, data miners, event drive closed loop. According to the decision users, we have to use this data warehouse. Now you look at this middleware, enterprise message bus, metadata, logical data model, physical database design, enterprise system and data management, business and technology, constitution support, consultation support, and educational services. This is the enterprise data warehouse by Teradata Corporation. From such type of architecture we have to use. Apart from this, one model we can select strategic user, data mart, and transactions user. We can select this path, we can select this path, we can select this path, as well as we can select such type of a model to perform this operation, and this data integration and extraction, transformation, and load process. Data integration that comprises three major processes: data access, data uh, data federations, and change capture. Data integration, to get proper security, we are also using this data integrations. One application is depends upon another application. Suppose we want to do the transactions, money transactions. Nowadays we know, sometime if we want to access the money from ATM machines more than 10,000, their ATM machine send the OTP to our mobile phone. So this is the integrated system to this. This is the integrated system to this, to security purpose, to confirmation purpose, and to get a easily access to the client, easily access to the user. There is no need to put extra information other than the ATM card and the OTP. In this is the This is the advantage of data integration. Integration that comprises three major processes: first data access, then data federation, and change capture in the data. Enterprise application integration, a technology that provide vehicle for pushing data from source system into the data warehouse. This is the enterprise application integrations. How we will provide, how we will push the data into the database. This is the technology that provide a vehicle for pushing data from source system into the data warehouse. We know there are the suppose our product, and our product we want to show on the website. There we require some technology to push that data onto the websites, onto the web pages, onto the web servers, so that can be accessed by the client whenever it required to them. The enterprise information integration, an involving tool space that promises real-time data integration from a variety of sources. This enterprise information integration is, now suppose we have stored, we have pushed our product information and product photographs on the website. Now enterprise information integration will be involved, it involving tool space that promises real-time data integration from variety of sources. From variety of sources, it will gives us the information about our product. From all the ends, it will send the information to the client. Service oriented architecture, SOA, a new way of integration information system to show the proper product information. Now you see all the information is in the digital format on the computer, but it will be visible with the help of these services, with the help of server oriented architecture, enterprise information integration, as it is as the product physically are. How the physically these products are, similar kind of a product we can see on the server, on the computer, on the web pages. With the help of this data integration, enterprise application integration, enterprise information integration, service oriented architecture, this is the extraction, transformation, and load the data. First extract the information from enterprise, then extract, then transform that information. After extracting, transform into the user point of view, that should be look as it is, as they are in the office, in the enterprise, in the organization. Suppose there is the car and we want to show that car. To show that car, we have to transform that from digital to again in the pictorial format, so that picture can be visible to the client. There we require this of enterprise application integration, enterprise information integration, service oriented architecture, and data integrations. The data integration and extraction, transformation, and load process is extraction, transformation, or load process. First, pack application, legacy system. Another internal applications are there. Then extract these pack application, legacy system, which are the rules are there to show particular product. Suppose we want to show computer, then and the price of that computer on the website. According to the configuration of that computer, we have made some legacies, the price we have decided. So through that, this can be extract. Once that extract, then transform it into the another form, then cleans, then load that data to the data mart and data warehouse, so that client can be able to view or look. extract and load, extract, transform and load. Issues affecting that the purchase of an extract transform load tool. Issues affecting the purchase of an extract transform load tool. Data transformation tool are expensive. To transform information into the product, these tools are expensive. To transform the information into the product, data transformation tool may have a long learning curves. Data transformation required long learning curve. And important criteria in selecting an extraction transformation load tool: the ability to read from and write to an unlimited number of data sources architecture. This is the important criteria for selecting the extraction transformation load tool. The tool has to be ability to read and write unlimited number of data sources architecture. Suppose we are using a machine in the mall to capture the price and add into the software. So that device should capture the unlimited images, unlimited barcodes into the system and perform the analysis of all. We know we seen this at the cash counter in the malls. There are some instrument. This instrument captures the barcode which is on the product, means barcode reader capture the information about this product and store that information onto. That should be unlimited. There we need the ability to read and write to an unlimited number of data sources architecture. Automatic capturing and delivery of metadata, that should be automatically captured and delivered to the metadata. A history of confirming to open standard, there should be history, there should be all the products information should be stored. And easy to use interface for developers and the functional users, it should be easy to use. The benefit of data warehouse: direct benefit of data warehouse is allow end user to perform exclusive analysis. User can get the exclusive maximum information about the product, so that there is no need to directly physically visit to the shop, physically visit at the business locations. He will get all detailed information of the product, and it is not expensive. Easily he will able to see the product detail, product information. This is the benefit of data warehouse. It allows a consolidated view of corporate data. It allows consolidated view of corporate data, how all the product features, uh, uh, color, like suppose there is car, then the capacity, dimensions, all features, performance, quality, all this data we can view. Better and more timely information. Better information we will get, and within a minute, within a second, we can get all this information. There is not require much time to view. Enhance system performance. It enhance system performance data warehouse, as well as simplification of the data access. If we use data warehouse in the web development, then there is the simplification in that. Indirect benefit of data warehouses are enhanced business knowledge, present competitive advantages, enhance customer services and satisfaction, facilitate decision making, help reforming business processes. All these are the benefit of the data warehouse to enhance the customer services and satisfaction. Whenever the customer has problem, customer can send their problem with the help of web-based application and show their problem to directly to the company, and company can overcome their problem, as well as there is facilitated decision making. According to our income, we can select the product. There are some facilities to search the product. There are some filters. We can search product by price, we can search product by features, we can search product by colors, we can search product by company. All these facilities are there for decision making to the users as well as to the businessman. Which product is looking by users more, that can be analyzed by the manager. It help the reforming business processes. If there are problem in the product, user can comment, and this comment helps to the reformation of the business processes to the manager. These are also the benefit of the data warehouse to the developer as well as client. Data warehouse development. Data warehouse development approaches by in-mon model. This is the enterprise data warehouse approach, top-down approach, as well as Campbell's model is there. We can do that in data mart approaches, which is bottom-up model. Bottom-up model, Kimball model is bottom-up model, and Enom's model is the top-down model. Which model is best? There is no one size fit all strategy to data warehouse. Which is the best from these two is not appropriate, we can say. According to the application, one alternative is the hosted warehouse. Data warehouse structure, the stars schema versus relational real-time data warehousing. All are the parameters we have to consider during the selection of the top-down model and bottom-up model. Data warehouse development approaches: Inmon approach and Kimball approach. Effect: data mart approach, enterprise data warehouse approach. The scope: one subject area. This Inmon approach is one subject area, and Kimball approach is the several subject area. There are the several subjects area. If we are using a very small business, then we are using this data warehouse model for our enterprise, a small vendor, as a small vendor, then this is good to us. This is near about $10,000 to $100,000 development cost, and here is the greater than $1 lakh cost to develop the Kimball approach, because there is a support to various subject. And development time: within a month we can develop a data mart approach in one model. But for Kimball model, there a year required to develop the software. Development difficulty: low to medium. But in the EWD Kimball approach, there high development difficulty is there. Development require more expertise. Data prerequisite for sharing sources: there is common, but here is across enterprise is common. Within a business area we can share the data here, Across the enterprise we can share the data from one enterprise to another enterprise, one business to another business. We can share the information, we can share the data in the Kimball approach. Size megabyte to several gigabytes and gigabyte to petabytes. There is huge size in Kimball approach than this Enum approach. In Inmon, the technology hardware workstation and departmental server is required, but there in the Kimball approach, enterprise server and the mainframe computer is required. The operating system for Inmon approach is Windows, Linux, or in Kimball approach, their Unix operating system we can use ZOS as well as OS 390 we can use. And a database, their workgroup or standard database server is used in Enum approach, and in Kimball approach their enterprise data server is used. So these are the differences, distinctions in the Kinmon approach and Kimball approach, Enum approach and Kimball approach. Data warehouse structure, star schema, aka dimensional model. We'll see in the next lecture. If you have any question regarding this Inmon approach and Kimball approach, please ask. Or if you have any doubt regarding this data warehouse development, benefit of data warehouse, extract, transform load, data integration and data extraction load transformation architectures. Please ask. If you have any doubt, any question regarding this point in today's lectures, you can ask. Do you have any question? If no, then you can leave lecture and join another lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
You can join another lecture if you don't have any confusion about today's lecture. Okay? Do you have any question? Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.